Hello and welcome to No Look Reviews, where we watch United games so you don't have to. Today we have a special video for you. What we're gonna do is we're gonna discuss United's worst signings since 2013.
Oof.
Why 2013? Because that's when we were last relevant. That's when we were last good. That's when we were Manchester United.
That's true.
So let's jump into it.
Yeah. Start off.
Let's start off with the goalkeeper.
Actually, let's clarify things. We are gonna go with the 4-3-3 formation. So 4 defenders, 3 midfielders, 3 attackers, and obviously a goalkeeper. So starting off with the goalkeeper, both of us picked Victor Valdez, and to be fair, there's no one else that we could really go for. Maybe Tom Heaton, maybe one of the people that League ran or like whatever randos that we picked up to as our secondary or tertiary goalkeepers. But again, none of them really played a lot of minutes or made crazy mistakes. They did what they were supposed to. Valdez came in and just did jack shit.
Yeah, didn't do anything. Made mistakes. Had an attitude problem. Was pinned off by Van Hall in one season. So Victor Valdez.
Yeah, that's that. It was pretty simple.
Yeah. Moving on to right back, we have Matteo Darmian.
Hell yeah.
Matteo Darmian, the player who was actually good for 2 games before Alexis Sanchez ended his career. Do you have anything else to say on him?
Not really. He was never great for us. Yeah. Never did anything spectacular. Like you see Dalot fucking up every now and then, not every now and then, a lot of games, but then also scoring that amazing goal. So again,
Darmian had none of that.
Nothing.
Nope.
No crossing, nothing whatsoever. No link-up play. And defensively, he was but that was about it.
Yeah. Moving on to center back. All right, so this, I guess, will be our right-sided center back.
Yeah.
I've gone for Eric Bailly.
Oof. And I've gone for Phil Jones.
Yeah. See,
I mean,
let's start off with Phil Jones. Let's see what you have.
I'm gonna say no disrespect to the guy. United legend, played under Ferguson, came on as a United Academy player, right? Yeah.
He signed from Blackburn, but he
was pretty young
when
he
pretty
signed.
Young.
Yeah. So he played decent games. He played under Fergie. He put some decent performances in, but post Fergie era is when things were just not great for him. I don't know. Look, he had a good season with Rojo. I mean, you mentioned that, and I remember that clearly as well. He had some really good performances there. The one thing I remember is when we played against Arsenal and Giroud was like in the box. He was on the floor and he had the ball like the slightest bit that fucked up Giroud. And,
exactly. Who's gonna do that for us now?
Yeah, no one. And he was dedicated to the club. I can give him that. I do respect it, but nah, man. Why was he here for so long?
But see, that's not his problem. He's
Again,
not the one. He's not the one that makes those decisions, right? Like Phil Jones, to me, he was just injured a lot, and people made fun of him for being injured or for putting himself in positions where he looks funny, but he actually does the job well.
Yeah.
And you would remember, I think it was last season or it was around next season. We played against Wolves. We didn't have a center back. Phil Jones comes in, man of the match against Wolves, and then he's injured again. So that's the story of Phil Jones. But I don't think he belongs in this list. I think it's very harsh.
I don't know. I mean, same goes for again. You brought in Eric Bailly into the list. Bailly obviously had shaky performances, but he also had really good performances.
But all right,
he was reckless. The only thing was he was not disciplined. He was reckless.
Fair enough.
He had good performances.
Fair enough. But Bailly, in comparison, only performed for half a season again under Jose Mourinho.
Yeah, that's fair.
Phil Jones, he played well in Van Gaal's first season.
Yeah.
He played well in Mourinho's first season. And then the rest of the time he was injured. It's not like he had bad performances. Bailly, on the other hand, was just...
He was a mixed bag. He was a mixed bag.
He was very hot and cold. Yeah. So...
But...
All right, we'll make our decision later when we show you your final teams.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the second center back.
I went with Raul. Marcus Raul. The Argentinian left center back. Also played left back at times.
Yeah.
Fine. He was decent on the ball, I guess, here and there. So...
Yeah.
Gets that. And you picked...
I picked Rafael Varane.
Ooh, big man.
All right. So for Rafael Varane, all I have to say is you come from Real Madrid.
Yeah.
You come up with a certain reputation.
Mm-hmm.
In your first season, absolutely diabolical with Harry Maguire. The team finishes 6th. Second season, you get a good partner, you get a new manager, and sure, like you play better, finish third. But then now, when things are tough, he does not perform and he does not step up, and that's not the player that we've signed or we thought that we had signed. So, in terms of the expectation of what we thought was coming into the club versus what we actually got was. We didn't get a leader. We got someone who's a follower, and without Lisandro Martinez, Varane
is just not it.
Is not it. So, yeah, Rafael Varane goes into my team.
Yeah, I mean, I never saw him as a leader. He was always a follower playing against Ron. The only real, I guess, argument against that is that for France, he was kind of the leader in the back line. But then again, you had Lloris right behind you as a goalkeeper who would keep shouting at you, who was the more experienced player, the bigger man.
Yeah.
And that says a lot because Lloris has not done much in his career.
I mean, in terms of his... Yeah, like he played for Tottenham.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
Yeah, but
he was a great goalkeeper.
Yeah, like he was good at Lyon as well before he came to Tottenham.
No disrespect to the guy. I was obviously like just chatting shit to Tottenham, but it is what it is. Varane was never... really the guy that would lead the line for me. Yeah. And he showed that. He's showed his colors and we move on from there. Well, yeah, but I picked Marcos Rojo. I just feel like, okay, he did have that decent season under Mourinho with Phil Jones, the partnership, the classic partnership of the two injured players that will play a game and then be gone for like 7.
Both real bad.
Yeah. But they put on some decent performances. Rojo, again, was a little reckless, but he was decent on the ball. He was energetic. Again, the great Argentinian mindset.
Yeah.
As we say, as Licha is pretty much a similar kind of profile. Reckless, strong, runs around, decent on the ball, left-footed. I mean, I don't know what else to say. But again, he was never my guy. He was never the guy for me. He was never that big of a leader. He was always much more of a crybaby than anything else.
Yeah.
Maybe he had some talent going for him and some... But again, you're playing under Mourinho. He's going to set up a kind of tactics for you, set up some sort of plan for you, and you kind of perform.
Yeah.
But apart from that, he hasn't done much in his career. He was mostly like just injured for us.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's about it. I don't know. Played left back for us. Maybe played a couple of decent games in that position too, but that's about it.
Yeah, I mean he's a cult hero for some, but I agree with that. I think he was
very inconsistent, very shaky kind of
very
player.
Inconsistent player.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to left back. I have gone with Alex Telles.
Yeah, and I have gone with Ashley Young. I mean, both of them. I honestly, no disrespect to Ashley Young, left back is not his position, right back is not his position. He was a left mid under Ferguson, and he was an amazing fucking player. But once that era ended for him, he went to shit.
I agree.
It just wasn't it. He never settled into that position. It was just his experience and his energy that we were kind of utilizing at that point, and we didn't really have a lot of other players that you could play over him. So that was that. I don't want to blame the guy too much. I liked the player for the time that he played. Again, that 8-2 win against Arsenal, he scored the 2 finesse.
He wasn't a left back.
He was playing a left mid. He scored 2 bangers, banger of goals. And, I mean, it is what it is. He just didn't have and even today, he's playing for Everton still. That's crazy. I don't know how he's still playing, but...
I think he was at fault for
the
goals.
Yeah, he was.
So.
I mean, again, the inconsistent performances, but again, a lot of managers still pick him up and still play him, so that's something that says something about him.
I mean, he's a great professional, just not a left back for Man United.
Yeah,
so.
But that's about that.
Yeah, like I mentioned, I've gone for Alex Telles. When we signed him, we thought he was going to replace Luke Shaw.
Yep.
Like, came with huge reputation from Porto. Like, insane free kicks, good crosses. Like a nice attacking, overlapping fullback, and when he came to United, none of that happened. We got someone who was Matteo Darmian on the left side, to put it very kindly.
I mean, he was okay going up front, but defensively he was completely
That's the thing, like
dog shit.
He comes up front and...
I would say he's more of a Dalot in that sense.
Dalot has... I don't know.
I mean, it's the same thing, inconsistent attacking performances, and defensively you're just shit.
Yeah.
I mean, Dalot did put up some decent performances. Obviously, he's not as bad as Telles has been.
Yeah.
But, it's just... I would have put Tellez in front instead of Young too. Like I would take him all day, but I don't know. He never played for us too consistently either. And I mean,
but that's because he was shit.
That's also true. So like, yeah, I mean, I don't know if playtime maybe improves him. We don't know. But
I mean, he had enough because Luke Shaw was injured. Like,
yeah,
like he
and there's also enough reason to not play him. Then the manager doesn't play him and plays anyone else over him. So it is what it is. I mean, I guess that's about it. Move forward into the midfield.
All right, so I'm gonna go with my CDM. I've gone with Morgan Schneiderlin. Came from Southampton. Again,
big reputation.
You thought, it's good. This is the guy who's gonna come in and transform the midfield, which we still haven't, by the way. I don't know. Like since 2013, we've never had a CDM.
Our midfield was so ass.
But yeah, he came in and he was okay, but just like Darmian. They both had the same exact career. Yeah. It was the 3-0 loss against Arsenal where him and Schweinsteiger just got torn into pieces. And then after that, he never recovered. Yep. That season, again, he was just on the bench for the rest of the season for Marwan Fellaini, who's not even a CDM. Yep. But they had to play him just because Morgan Schneiderlin was that bad, being a specialist CDM. And then Mourinho didn't fancy him, and in a season and a half, he was gone. So Morgan Schneiderlin didn't do much.
I mean, a high-energy CDM that does have that physicality about him that's played in the Prem. Yeah. Played well in the Prem for Southampton, again. But then again, I guess says a little bit about it. Southampton being a more defensive team, just playing their low blocks and whatnot as a second-tier team in the Premier League. But yeah, I agree. Schneiderlin's also someone I picked in my midfield as our CDM. So, not much else to say, and we move forward. So, my second midfielder would be Van de Beek. Harsh, because he did not get the playtime. He did have an injury or two. But whenever he did show up and play for us, just never really showed what he had at
That's true. I agree with the last part.
At Ajax, he was a different player.
23rd in Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, and bro, he was like an attacking midfielder that played as a second striker in a lot of places. Went between defenders, ran into the box, scored goals, created goals. Had that Muller-esque kind of position where he went into spaces, created chances because of his runs. And we just never saw any of that. Nothing whatsoever. Maybe one game that he maybe showed some sort of performance that was similar to what...
I can't even count one.
Yeah. I mean, he had that one game where he scored a goal in the Carabao Cup or something.
Sure.
But yeah, he never had a great performance. He showed signs in a game or two, but that was about it. And again, no disrespect to the guy, had a great career at Ajax. Maybe should have stayed there, maybe shouldn't have moved, but it is what it is. Yeah. That's about it. What about you?
I'll go with Tom Cleverley.
United legend.
Yeah, Tom Cleverley had one season after Sir Alex, which was the David Moyes season, and he was absolutely dog shit.
We blame it on the player or we blame it on the manager? I don't know. But
I mean, he's not even one of those players which had a good career afterwards.
Yeah, because afterwards, he went to Everton, right? I'm pretty sure.
He went to Aston Villa, then he went to Watford, and then
Watford,
Everton, maybe. Again, he was just just dangling between different teams, but never a starter in any of them.
No.
So, yeah, he had good potential when he came on. He was also one of those players, real big part of that 8-2. Yeah. Him and Anderson, when they had played that game, we thought this was our midfield for the next 10 years. And
Anderson, my guy.
Yeah. Luckily, he didn't even play to be part of this list. But Thomas Cleverley for me, he didn't do anything. He was just sideways passing, backwards passing, didn't do it much. It's just bad.
Yeah. I guess it shows how Ferguson managed his players and how well he can manage shit players. Because I remember he's played 7 defenders in a full lineup and still won a game, and it's kind of crazy.
Against Arsenal.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy how Fergie used to do that and maintain that and poach these types of players and bring them up and make them into fucking trophy-winning players. I don't know. Yeah. It's kind of crazy, but yeah, well, let's move on. My next player is Henrik Mkhitaryan.
Nah, man.
It's
no way.
I don't know. What?
There's no way.
What do you mean no way?
Yeah, bro, he was vital in Mourinho's first season. What are you talking about?
That was it.
Yeah, but he only played 1 season and a half. He was good for 66% of the time. How can you put him in?
No, because we let him go because he was absolute dog shit. And we got a swap because Sanchez wanted to come to us. I mean, that's another thing that we're going to talk about.
He was just shipped out because Mourinho didn't want him. It wasn't because he was shit.
I don't know, man. The thing is, Mkhitaryan always had potential. He was a great player at Dortmund. I love the guy. Love the work rate. Love the way he played at Dortmund. But he didn't fit into the United system. I feel like, okay, sure, he had that one season where I don't think it was vital.
He was vital. He was the one who carried us in the Europa League. Like, he scored in the final. Like, he was a good player, man.
I don't know. I think the potential that he brought to the club, like the potential that we thought he had, he never proved it. I think he just like stood still where he was, and this just kind of carried in like ups and downs, like like nothing crazy special. So I guess I'll say that. I don't know. I mean, let's move on to your pick because I mean I'm pretty sure that one's a lot worse than what my pick is.
Yes.
So
my next pick is Andreas Pereira. Preseason Perlo, as someone called him once.
That one goal. That preseason goal.
Oof. But yeah,
beautiful
that was it.
Strike.
That was his career highlight. One preseason goal at United, and he played. He played his first season under Mourinho. Yeah. The season where Mourinho got sacked. Second season he played under Oli, where he was absolutely garbage, and he was so bad that it took them to buy Bruno Fernandes in January. United never buys anyone in January.
That's true.
We desperately needed Bruno because Andreas was that bad.
And we had no one else.
Yeah, Brazilian with a fake passport, plays for Fulham now. He's not that bad. But for United, he just didn't step up.
I mean, he's an inconsistent player. Never showed he showed his talents here and there.
Yeah.
He did have an eye for goal. He did have an eye vision in terms of decent passing skill here and there, but never really worked out for him. His skills never paid the bills. So it is what it is. Very inconsistent performer again. Not something that we can keep at United. And yeah, I mean, I'll pick him up over Mkhitaryan any day for the worst 11.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's nothing else I can really say about it.
Yeah. That was it. So let's move on to our front three. Mm-hmm. Do you want to start with the right wing?
All right, the right wingers. Oof, there's a lot of people that we could have picked here. Yes. I'm going to especially mention our Brazilian maestro, Anthony, that I could have put in my team, but did not. And the person that I chose to put in is the person that's most likely going to leave in the January transfer window, Jadon Sancho. Came in for big money, big potential, big player mindset when he was not such a big player. Haaland, Bellingham, played with Royce, a lot of big names, a lot of big players. Performed in a lot of games in the Champions League and in the Bundesliga, but again, it's the Bundesliga. Came to United, struggled with the physicality of the league. Never really performed for us. Showed signs here and there about what he was about at Borussia Dortmund. That was it. And then the whole Ten Hag fiasco with him. It's just an attitude issue. It's a bad scouting, bad recruitment maybe. I don't know. The thing is, we probably made the right choice to buy the player, but then again, the disciplinary issues and the attitude that comes with the player, we probably just didn't see. And that's something that you got to take into account, right? So, it is what it is, but not it for me. Yeah. Not it for me. He has to go.
All right, I'm going to go with Memphis Depay. Yeah, when he came in after the World Cup.
Yep.
I mean, he came a season after the World Cup, but, at the World Cup, we all saw what he was about.
Yep.
He was in contention for the best young player of the tournament.
Yep.
Tore it up in PSV the season after.
Crazy.
Man, United signed him, and I thought, it was a good signing at that time. Wasn't even that much money, to be honest.
Yeah, it was a good deal, I would say.
Yeah, it was a good deal. Comes in with a big reputation.
Yeah.
Given the number 7 shirt.
That's a heavy.
Right? That was the hype behind Memphis.
I mean, he was that big name. Kind of he had a big attitude. Yeah. He loves that number 7, and he loves just getting his name called out as much, right? He has that attitude. He has that, loves that attention. So,
never worked out for him. Yeah. I know we talk shit about Anthony and how he's very frustrating to watch.
Yeah.
It was the same thing with Memphis Depay without any of Anthony's highlights. Like at least Anthony played against Arsenal, played against City, played against Barcelona. Yeah. Like, put in some performances. Like Memphis was just.
I mean, Anthony is working hard. Like that's the thing about a lot of people say. Anthony works hard. He is trying to fight for his position. He's trying to come back and kind of work around his issues and stuff. So,
and it was the hype, right? When Anthony came in, no one thought he was gonna be, no one thought he was gonna be the best right winger in the world at one point, right? Like, but with Memphis, the hype that he came in with,
it was crazy.
And people talk about he's not a big name player anymore. But when he came in, he had that aura. Everyone thought this guy's the next big thing, and.
He had that attitude about him, but never the talent. He never showed the skill. He just he just struggled on the Prem. I don't know what it is. It's a lot of good players come into our teams and just struggle.
Most of the time, I mean, this is a different conversation.
Yeah,
a lot of the time it's about the money that they're being paid right off the bat. So
money, management, the club's atmosphere, maybe the culture that we already have, the dressing room situations. Terrible. It's just been crazy. But yeah. We're going to move on, and we're going to move on to the striker position. I picked the great Ronaldo replacement, Wout Weghorst. I remember when he was initially signed and he played the first 2 games. I remember Akib saying, the best striker and the perfect replacement.
I never said that.
Oh, you didn't say that, but you like the player. You love the fucking player. I remember.
I still see. He did do a job. I'm not gonna say he's a good striker. He did do a job. He was vital against Barcelona in both legs. I thought it was smart of Ten Hag to put him in the 10 and push Bruno up front so he could press, use his physicality against people like Gavi and Pedri, people that are not physical enough. Yeah. And he was vital, but that was it. That's pretty much it. For me, he had those 2 games in.
I mean, he had I guess so. But I thought Weghorst was never the guy. I don't know. He was a makeshift signing. I don't know. He was just sitting there, so we signed him.
We had to sign someone.
Yeah. That whole Ronaldo situation was pretty bad. Obviously, he was scoring goals for us, but then again, he wasn't exactly the player that maybe fit the system. Whatever happened there, no disrespect to Ronaldo. Great fucking player, great talent. Amazing... hard worker or whatever, but it is what it is. CR7 just ended in a really bad way between CR7 and United, so it sucks. It really sucks, but Weghorst was not the guy. Moving on, who was your choice?
I'm gonna go with this might be controversial, I don't know. I'm gonna go with Radamel Falcao. Again, this is all about the reputation.
Yeah, big hype.
You come in, you have a window where you have Rooney, Van Persie, Di Maria, and Falcao, and the most you can do is finish 4th in the league, knocked out of all cup competitions. And Falcao wasn't even a part of any of that.
He didn't do much.
He came in, he had, I think he was against QPR when Di Maria and everyone played well. Again, there was 2 games, one against QPR, one against Leicester. The Leicester one we lost 5-3.
That one was so bad.
And then after that, Falcao never played again.
Yeah.
And, you think this is a guy who's going to come in and score 40 goals for United across all competitions. Perfect, was he a backup for Van Persie? Was he going to be first choice? You never know.
He was still kind of old. I mean, he was coming off of great form, though. He was a great player. He played wherever he went. He played good games. He scored a lot of goals. Even after he left United for Monaco, he played really well. Amazing. He scored a lot of goals, too, but... I mean, again, it's either the physicality of the league or it's just the culture of the club. It didn't work out for him. Yeah, or the manager maybe not being able to kind of control the team at that point, because we had Di Maria, who was obviously talented player, big player, but not disciplined, not someone that you can really work with, I guess, at that point. I mean, he's worked on it recently. He's been performing for Argentina. He's been performing for all the clubs that he played for. So,
I mean, he did perform for United. It's just
he had decent numbers, but it was not it. I don't know what was going on at that point. Van Persie was obviously getting old. We needed someone to replace him. Rooney was almost kind of at the end of his United career, but he was still doing his best, trying his hardest. And at that point, I don't even know. the midfield is also, again,
never like Rooney had to come back.
Yeah, Rooney used to play like CDM and center mid, like a box to box. It's crazy. Yeah. I mean, he can play a box to box. I would love to see him there, but yeah, that's not it. You don't do that to one of the best strikers or number 9s in the Prem. But yeah, that's that for the striker's position. I guess we can move on.
Yeah. So final one, left wing. This is the number 7 shirt at Man United, you would call it.
Yeah.
So, who has been the worst number 7 for you since 2013?
Worst number 7? I mean, Depay is obviously up for consideration. We already mentioned him.
Yeah.
But Sanchez, oh my God. Alexis Sanchez.
We were going to win the league when we signed him. What happened?
Oh my God. That was... Coming off of his performances for Arsenal, it's very much the same arc that Eden Hazard took, right? Like, amazing player, Chelsea. The summer has happened, goes to Real Madrid, overweight, whatnot, just doesn't perform. And then Sanchez, mid-season, January transfer, swap with Mkhitaryan. Mkhitaryan, the worst player, the worst player in the deal, performs better for Arsenal than Sanchez performs for United. I mean, Sanchez had that one game where we came back against City, where, I mean, Pogba scored, Smalling scored. Sanchez provided the assist, played a decent game. And
he had a good game in the semi-final that year against Tottenham. Scored a goal, scored a nice header. But like aside from those 2 games, he couldn't do anything.
Yeah, he was never the player that he showed.
And I don't know what happened. It just happened overnight.
Literally overnight.
Like, it literally happened overnight.
The game before, like literally the first half of the season, he was playing amazing. And shit just happens. He just doesn't get a contract from Arsenal. They want to just swap him. And I don't know.
Like City wanted him. Yeah. That same time where we got him. Like City wanted him. Like he chose us instead of City, and then.
I guess it was just the bag. He was just trying to get the bag and then walk away. He didn't care about the trophy, maybe, or I don't know. United was in contention for that season, I guess, but. Yeah. That was a bad one.
Like out of all the players we've spoken about, like at least in our list, like this was the one where you thought, since 2013. If you could ever win the league, this is the guy.
This is the guy that changes.
This guy's gonna do it, but oh my god,
he changed their trajectory. He has to. But fuck me.
Yeah, we got worse. We got worse after he signed. So.
But yeah, I mean, that's that for the. I mean the lineups itself. Like I mean, at least our personal lineups. I guess we're gonna go on and.
Let's select our let's combine it. Yeah. So goalkeeper Valdez. 100%. Right back Darmian.
Yep.
Right center backs.
Right center backs, I guess, because Phil Jones has played well under Ferguson.
You don't go to the Bernabeu. You don't go to the Bernabeu and you pocket Cristiano Ronaldo and get put on this list.
Yeah. I mean, I respect Phil Jones. He's been a long-time United player, but I just don't know why he was still at the club. I just hated that part. It was the club's issues, whatnot, whatever. So we're definitely not going to put him in the final list. Where I guess we have to go with Eric Bailly, who I liked as a player, but again,
another cult hero.
Yeah, another like shaky, inconsistent performer. So it is what it is. But he goes in the worst 11. And then left center back, Rojo and Varane. It's a very equal situation. Rojo had one good season. Varane had one good season. Yeah. But I don't know. At this point, Varane obviously this season hasn't performed the best, done anything. But then again, we have a lot of issues in the dressing room right now. Yeah. I wouldn't want to 100% blame it on him. He doesn't have a great attitude, obviously, so that's on him. But we also don't have a great culture at the club right now, so I would want to play Rojo.
Fine,
but
I'm okay with that. We can go with Rojo.
Yeah. So left center back, that's Rojo, and then left back, Tellez or Young. Young having the reputation that he does, I do not want to put him in the final 11. I would rather put Tellez because I do not give a shit about his ass. And Young, again, similar to Jones. I do respect the guy.
Yeah, and I mean, like Young, at the end of the day, like he tried his best.
Yeah,
he tried his best. So, Alex Tellez, left back.
Yep.
CDM, Morgan Schneiderlin, we both have him.
Yep.
All right, so first center mid, Van de Beek or Cleverley?
I don't know. The thing is, Van de Beek's been here longer since 2013 than Cleverley was. But then again, that also shows how shit Cleverley might have been. But
I mean, I don't know. Van de Beek
did come up with a lot of hype.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, cleverly, like, for whatever he did, like, he won a Premier League.
Cleverly, we knew what we had. It was a raw talent, and that Sir Alex poached. And without Sir Alex, none of his players have worked out for us. So,
yeah, fair enough.
We can't really give him shit for that.
All right, so
Van de Beek it is.
Van de Beek it is.
Yeah, and then next up, the more attacking-minded, I guess, midfielder, Mkhitaryan or Pereira. I agree with you. It's going to have to be Pereira. I don't think I'm going to put Mkhitaryan there, but, I mean, he's a shout, I guess.
Yeah. Let's just go with Andres Pereira. Yeah. Yep.
But I guess I'm going to talk about, like, a couple of the special mentions that we had. Sure.
Which I don't agree with, but...
I mean, come on. You put down Marcel Sabitzer as one of the special mentions. And I don't agree with that at all. Okay. He didn't have a lot of time played with us. He was signed, and he was also injured. Which is, again, United's recruitment being stupid, signing an injured player, just fucking stupid. But when he did play, he scored goals for us. He kind of played okay games, nothing special, obviously, but then again, we never really expected him to be that special kind of player. Yeah. Schweinsteiger, Pogba, and Mount are my special mentions. Actually, no. Pogba, I guess, coming more from you than me. I like the player, but obviously he never was...
I mean, there's no denying his talent. Yes. Let's be honest. Like,
amazing player.
Like, if only he fulfilled his potential, like, Lord knows what would have happened, but...
He was the player that could have controlled the tempo any team you went into. You could go into any midfield and control the game, but...
Like, you talk about Alexis Sanchez, like, he was the player that would have won us the league, but... Pogba was the player that would have won multiple Ballon d'Ors.
Yep.
Multiple Ballon d'Ors.
But the fuck just happened to him? I don't even know. Yeah. So sucks. I mean, just for that reason, for the way he was, the inconsistency and the attitude that he brought into the team, I guess I would want to mention him here, but it is what it is. He was never going to make this team. Schweinsteiger, again, another big player, big name, obviously towards the end of his career, just a makeshift kind of loan signing or... Like, just like an end of the season signing just to cover up our backs.
And he was also part of the 3-0 loss. Like, so him, Schneiderlin, and Darmian never really played for United again after that.
But then again, Schweinsteiger was also really old, so he never had the legs that he used to. And he was always like a high energy player, right? So you can't really blame him for losing his leg later on in his career. But he did bring in expertise and kind of experience. And again, great career. 100% respect the guy. And the last one, Mason Mount. I do not agree with his signing. I do not think we need him. Sure, he played a decent game last game, but 60 mil for Mason Mount? Fuck no. And that's all I really have to say.
With Mount, it's a Ten Hag signing. Like, at the end of the day, like, he's the guy who signed him. I'm sure he has a vision with Mount.
Yeah, probably.
It's unfortunate that we have so many injuries, because we don't really know what the system would have been like with him in the team.
Yeah.
But I don't quite think he's in that category just because, like, he hasn't even played that much.
Yeah,
Again,
these are special mentions. I'm not really putting him in the worst 11. Yeah. But again, if the season doesn't work out, and maybe he stays here for another season, like, and doesn't play well, then he's definitely going into this team.
Yeah, he could go in there for sure.
And I mean, it's again a player that had potential, but never really reached. His thing. But and that's about that. And so moving on to our final 11, to the forwards that we have. We already agreed on the left wing, Alexis Sanchez. He's going into the team straight in.
First name of the team sheet.
First name. Let's move on to right wing first. Jadon Sancho and Memphis Depay. What do you think? What do you have to say for that?
This is a very close one.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be opposed to either of them. The fact is, like, what I can tell you for certainty, and you can clip this up, whatever, you can bring this up in 5 years' time, 10 years' time, Jadon Sancho is not going to have a better career than Memphis Depay. At all.
Big statement.
And just because of that, because of what Memphis has done at Lyon, like Memphis, he got his big move to Barcelona.
Yeah.
I think, and what he's done for the Dutch team.
And what he's doing right now for Atletico Madrid, he actually put in some performances here and there. So,
I think Jadon Sancho has to go in there just because, like, just terrible.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, if he finds the right type of manager, I think he might be able to perform. But let's
look at United's season so far, right? Like, and we desperately need a right winger. But when have we ever said in our podcast that we need Jadon Sancho to come fill in on the right wing?
The thing is, he's
terrible.
He's never been good. He's played a false nine. He's played a cam. He's played left wing. He's played right wing. He's kind of played striker, but then again, the false nine type of striker. So I don't know. He's never fit in perfectly into any of those positions. He's never gonna. We signed him because we needed a right winger.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The day he came in, he chose to not play a right wing, and he wanted to play the left. And then we eventually tried him out on the left. Didn't work out either. So yeah, I mean, at this point, plus the media criticism, what's happening in the media right now, whatever's happening in the background with Ten Hag and whatnot, he has to be the one that goes into our team, I guess.
For sure.
And I did like Depay. I still like Depay. He does have potential. He can definitely still play a good game when he needs to.
Yeah.
Kind of wants to, I guess. So Sancho it is at the right wing. And our last man, striker. Falcao versus Weghorst.
See, I'm going to see Weghorst came in for a job.
Yeah.
And he did that job. Whatever, right? He did what Ten Hag wanted him to do. Falcao came in to be a world-class striker, scoring 40 goals a season, and he didn't get a game.
Yeah.
So I think Falcao is just in terms of the expectation and the hype and the reputation of the player.
Yeah.
He has to be in that list.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I kind of agree, but I also kind of disagree with that point. But it is what it is. I mean, I never liked Weghorst. Again, he did bring energy into the team. We kind of needed that. We kind of needed that person that was loyal and played for the kind of the badge, and he did. So I'll give him that.
Yeah.
He's just not as talented as any of the other players that we have, or any of the other players that we could have signed, and we just got what we could and played him. So, yeah, I guess I agree with that.
I mean, last thing I want to say, Weghorst won a trophy with United. Falcao didn't win shit, so I'm gonna end up with that.
That's fair. That's fair. But yeah, Falcao as the striker. There you have it. That's the final 11 that we kind of came up with. The worst 11. Comment down below what you agree with, what you disagree with. Maybe you have a special mention. Maybe we missed out on a player or two that you might think that we should put into the team. And that's that. Like, share, subscribe.
And we'll see you after the international break.
See you.